All right, the bridge, Bob. So the bridge is now a completely different show than I sort of thought it would be when we started watching.
Yeah.
And David Tate is basically a full-on wizard. You know, something needs to happen. David Tate just says abracadabra, boom, it happens, right?
Yep.
And he basically admits the political stuff was all a joke to throw Sonya off in this episode. Maybe David Tate is special, as he says. At least the adrenaline is pumping.
I
Is that?
guess. Yeah. We were talking about this in our household about how this show is ultimately disappointing at this stage because, yeah, David Tate tricked us, and it's an allegory for the show creators tricked us. Like all this
Right.
stuff at the beginning of, oh, people in Mexico are worth less, and the lives of humans across borders. Ooh, what a complicated topic. Let's explore it. And somebody's making a statement. No, no, that's all show for a crazy dude whose wife and kid died in a car accident.
That was a funny joke. We got you. Oh, okay.
And I'm like, really? Okay, so now it's like, an extended climax scene from SVU or something. It's just, it, I don't know, nothing
Yeah.
special.
Um, so yeah, I mean, just to get some of the recapitulation in here, he kept flexing his Grandmaster 10 moves ahead muscles. He hit Sonya's car, and not only did he hit the car, but he managed to leave Gus relatively unscathed. But Sonya he put in the hospital where she needs surgery. Now that was some excellent car crashing.
Right.
He managed to inject Daniel Fry with something, like Dexter style. That's exactly how Dexter does it. He tased Gus, and he put him in a barrel with a glow stick and some liquid pouring in. And of course, he gets Marco to ditch his phone and go drive somewhere with him. So that is just the least interesting stuff of this whole series. But I thought it was, one, a good Marco episode, a good Marco and Sonya episode.
Sure.
Marco is continuing his trying to keep it together, but hasn't slept, and Sonya's making progress on being a good partner, trying to say the right thing, but she goes up to the line of not wanting to give her his gun and lie to Hank, but she does it. And part of me wants to cheer for Sonya, but part of me knows it'll turn out badly.
Right. Yeah.
Um, the other thing, Daniel Fry, that was sort of interesting. Going off the wagon, spilling his guts to Adriana, going to an AA meeting. I definitely appreciated the acting performance. Matthew Lillard really pulled off some big emotions there.
Hmm.
But the one thing I wanted to say there is something about how they strung it together bothered me. I didn't quite get why he decided to stop drinking altogether earlier. I mean, being an alcoholic's not a great thing, but based on what he revealed to us about his involvement in David Tate's wife's murder, that maybe deserves a night of drowning your sorrows. And I think, what kind of person am I? Maybe drinking is the right response to that for a night. I don't know. It didn't seem like he'd really hit rock bottom, or it wasn't affecting his job yet. So I don't know why AA was the necessary thing.
Yeah. I think it was just this is a problem of the show is it doesn't know what's a sideshow, what deserves our attention, how to develop things to keep us interested. Because you're right, on the surface, this seemed like a really heart-wrenching, interesting storyline, but the context was missing, and the problem is that they wanted there to be enough of a connection that we all felt something when he was, you know, taken by our wizard Tate, but it was too little, too forced. I mean, it was good, like you said, good acting, good, but just not enough to know. He's just not somebody I'm on the edge of my seat to. And Gus is the same thing. You know, Gus is another character that we feel bad for, and there's some good acting, and we know a little bit about him, but really it's all about Marco. And so
Yeah.
in that case, it works a lot better because it's more about Marco than Gus. Um, anyway, so I don't know.
Yeah. So the one other thing I wanted to mention was Charlotte. She takes a turn in this episode. So they take Tim out to the desert to scare him after they find a transmitter in the guns. Although I wasn't quite sure how they found that out because Graciela didn't show them, right? So did they find the transmitter? I wasn't expecting that, but I guess after Charlotte popped her killing cherry with Graciela last week, she's on a roll.
Listen, Charlotte, by the way, if you look up the cast on IMDb, I just wanted to double check this. Charlotte is the only main character that has no last name.
Oh.
which is convenient because I don't get her. She's like a ghost. Like, what? what who just kills people? Like, Graziella, that's one thing, is self-defense, but there's nothing going on here to suggest that she had remorse or like it aided her. It's just like, yeah, I had to kill somebody once, and therefore now I just kill people as the solution to all my problems when they cross me. It's like she's like a straight up gangsta now, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, what happened here?
And she was so hesitant at the beginning. I mean, is that it? She got the taste for blood now that she killed one person. Now it's easy.
I
If so, it'd
guess.
be nice to have that explained a little bit better.
Yeah, again, not enough development, not enough focus on this character, and so we we just are forced to fill in the gaps, and it feels more like shortcut TV than actual believable character development, in my opinion, unfortunately.
Yeah, sort of like we were talking about with Breaking Bad, but it's spinning out of control, but it's not being barely held together like Breaking Bad is. This one is just spiraling down, I feel like.
Right, and it
Unfortunately.
doesn't have 4 seasons or a bunch of compelling stuff. Basically, this show had a few good episodes in the beginning, had us intrigued, and then the more it revealed and played its hand, it's like, oh, that's what you've got? Okay, nobody, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, any last words you wanted to say before we wrap it up, Bob?
Oh, I don't know how many episodes we have left, but I'm waiting for this one to be over. I was hoping for something that it isn't, and again, I don't know how they're going to do a season 2, even if they get ratings good enough, which I don't think they are, because it's going to be a totally different story. And if they do get that chance, then more power to them. Maybe they can redeem themselves and do something better.
Yeah, Alma basically tells the story of the show this far. She says she's alive because that's what Tate wanted. And it seems like Tate's the only one whose actions matter in this show. And, I imagine Sony will eventually figure it out and take him down, but the character development, the relationships are just being watered down. I just care less and less about everyone the more we go on.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.